Welcome to a 15-minute slow flow with the theme of the shadow, intending to take away all the distractions and just be with yourself, with your body, with how you feel. So start kneeling. If that's not appropriate for you, a cross-legged seat is fine. And I'm going to modify with a blanket through the whole class. So if you want to grab a blanket, do that now. Start on your knees, hands on thighs, crown of head light, shoulders soft. Encourage your inhales to dig in to the places that feel tight, feel restricted, feel bogged down. And then encourage your exhales to soften, relax, and let go. Inhales expand into the sticky, the dark, the unseen spots. Exhales soften your body so you can connect to this moment in time. Start to shrug one shoulder, really exaggerated, lift it up and bring it down. Other one, up and down. So do this multiple times each side and bring your whole upper body into it. So see what happens with your neck, your back, your rib cage. And then do that again, and instead just reach the arm over like a side bend and then down, and then other side. Kind of reach the shoulder and then extend the arm. We're just going to transition this movement right into some fluid side bends. Reaching and maybe kind of pull that shoulder blade down as you draw the elbow down again. A few more times like this. Good. Now keep going. Reach like a side bend and then side into a twist. And then up and over other way, side bend and then slide into a twist. Keep going. So the intention here is to not only add mobility into your body, but to really see if you can get into some places where you don't often get to, even in a regular vinyasa class. Make your breath fluid, connected, whatever feels natural. Good, and then come on up. We're going to go right into some camel movements, a slight back bend. So this might be where you want to fold your blanket underneath your knees. And we're going to go ahead and be really fluid with the movement, so it doesn't have to be particular to the pose itself. Separate your knees just a little bit on an inhale. Just lift, pull your belly in, open your heart, and then come back down. So make the modifications you need for your body, less or more. Maybe you tuck your toes under, do this again, and then back down. Again, inhale, really stretch across the heart, and back down. Couple more. Last one, you're going to come up. Maybe you tuck your toes this time. Take your hands to your low back. Kind of push. At the same time, lift. Breathe. Keep the belly in so that you can lengthen your low back. Really breathe. Inhale up and then come down onto your toes. We're going to do broken toe pose. I like to bring the knees a little closer here to make sure that the feet and ankles are touching. Take your fingers to bring your pinky toes out, so all 10 pads of your toes are touching the ground. We're going to add some arm movements. I think it's more of a distraction than anything. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, right arm underneath for an eagle wrap. Take 2 breaths. Breathe into the places that are calling your name, the sensation, places that we may avoid, and instead stare right at them. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm underneath. Same thing, 2 breaths. Look right at the places that feel tight, feel uncomfortable. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, bring your hands down. Sit again on the top of your feet, which should feel like a sweet relief. Come into downward dog, but keep your blanket there if you're using it. Push your hands and do some sweet pedaling into your calves and backs of your legs. Maybe do a little bit of twisting in your upper body, relaxing your neck. Either from here or drop your left knee down to step right leg forward and then drop left knee down. Inhale, rise arms up. So you're in a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Pull your belly in, sink your hips forward, lift your heart. Stay like this with your arms, or one at a time. Crisscross your arms behind your head by holding onto upper arms. Push your head into your arms. Lift through your armpits and then sink your hips in. Breathe here. Two more breaths. Back out of the pose. Keep your left hand towards your right shoulder. Bring your right hand onto your hip as you slide your right leg around. Move a candle out of the way if it's there. And then you're just going to take your side bend towards that right leg. Maybe slide the right hand down. Lifting left elbow to sky. Gatekeeper's pose. Lift up, place your left hand down on the ground or a block. Right arm overhead for this side plank variation. And then come on down to seated. You're going to sit onto the inside of your left heel and bring your right foot to your inner left knee. Take the movements you need, and you can always extend your left leg if your knee is bothering you. Stay like this, or Bottom of your left hand, slide to the top of your foot to bring it onto your left thigh. Left hand up to right knee and twist. Option to stay here or weave that right hand over to the foot. A little deeper into the shoulders, and once again, with your breath, dig out the spots that you don't get to, that you don't give attention. Stare the sensation right in the face. Nothing to change, just knowing. Release this, come back through to center, and slide your right leg forward. So this is where you might need the blanket folded underneath your right sitting bone. So I'm actually going to pull this back so I'm just on the edge. I've got my left knee still bent, my right leg straight, toes point up. Take an inhale. On an exhale, you're going to lean forward. Breathe here, maybe one or both hands go to the right foot. I'm going to keep my fingertips down so I can really balance my hips and my shoulders. Breathe into your back body. On an inhale, bend your right knee, place the foot down, place your hands down, step into a plank, and you can just step around your blanket. Take 3 breaths in your plank. On an exhale, down to your belly. Wide fingers, lift your heart for cobra. 2 breaths here. Once again, kind of move into your shoulders. Notice what you feel. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Again, we won't be here long, so it's okay to have your blanket kind of in the way. Left foot steps to the front of your mat, right knee down. Do find a place to pad the knee if you like. Find your low lunge. Reach your arms to the sky. Sink forward, lift your heart. Option to stay here. Or crisscross your hands to your upper arms. Push head into that crisscross. Pull belly in to lift around your rib cage, your armpits, while pushing your head back, really creating an opening at the heart. And then sink in, but stay lifted. Find the balance, the ability to be present. Wobble around as needed. Inhale back out. Keep your right hand where it is. Bring your left hand to your hip. Extend left leg long, so it's off your mat now. Side bend over to the left. Move your left hand down the left leg. Keep reaching right elbow to the sky. Breathe here, this gatekeeper's pose. Inhale up, right fingertips down. Reach left arm overhead for this side plank variation. You can use a block under right hand if needed. Really lift up through left side body. Come back upright. Just gently arrange yourself to come to seated. Inside of right heel, left foot to inner right knee. Now, of course, if this is not appropriate for the right leg or knee, you'll extend the leg. If it's okay, the foot is outside of the hip, and maybe your left foot on top of your right thigh. Again, only if appropriate for your knee. Either way, left arm reaches up and then slides back behind you. Right hand on right knee. Maybe that left hand creeps over to the left toes rather, and you twist deeper, accessing those spots that we don't look at very often. They stay there in the shadows, and we just let them be. Instead, uncover them, give them attention, give them presence and worth. Take a deeper breath. Twist deeper on your exhale. And then come forward. So once again, extend your left leg long, but it does take a little bit of folding of the blanket to give yourself support. So once you've done that, scoot to the very edge of the blanket so that support is underneath your left hip. Left toes are pointed up, right foot still outside of your right hip. Inhale, lift your trunk long. Exhale, fold forward. Again, one or both hands could go to that left foot. I like to keep my hands on the ground to steer. Square hips, square shoulders. And then let the torso get super heavy. All that mental activity that we do all day long starts to quiet, to take a back seat. Lift up to seated. And then this time, arrange yourself into a lunge. Step back into plank. And then just drop your knees to come to a seat. We're going to just do a little bit of movement before Shavasana, but since you're seated, and if you have the blanket, I'm going to ask you to make a roll. Keep it very close so your hands can grab it. And then come on to your back. Do some movement, windshield wiper of the knees, right and left. And then move the blanket underneath your thighs. Rather your knees. For resting in Shavasana. Notice how your body feels even with this quiet, subtle practice that we've done today. Giving space and attention to the dark spots allows everything to come into balance. Rest here. If you have more time, give yourself more time. If you don't, thank you for practicing, for slowing down, for being yourself. Transition as needed to the rest of your day.